It's not like I'm gonna freak out if I don't get it. But if you feel like it, it'd be great if you bring it in. Whoever is in the, I see somebody's joined the call. You're muted. I don't know if you know that.
Hi.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Doing well.
Yeah,
All
we're both
right.
good.
Here we are.
Uh, Thanks for calling Mr. Girl Hotline. How can I help you?
All right. So I have a couple of questions and possibly disagreements, depending on how we answer this.
Yeah.
So first off, I'm confused a little bit about the distinction between ADHD as like a categorization of person versus as a set of interventions, like medical interventions. So do you
Okay.
think that ADHD is a valid classification? Like, do you disagree with the classification in general, or you disagree with the generally accepted interventions?
I agree with it as a classification of symptoms and experiences and behaviors as a statistical grouping. So they'll say with the 5% most disorganized thinkers, we can just say that they have ADHD. That's fine with me. My problem with the way people think about it is that it's actually a real thing. When I think it's just, you know, the 5% of worse, whatever, students, um, people who forget shit, people who can't remember what the fuck they're talking about, that then we can call them, we can say that, yeah, you have a disorder if you're on the bottom 5%, whatever. But it's
Right.
not, I don't think it's real. So like the expert I talked to, he was saying like it's your brain wiring, but then he said that it can't be seen with an MRI. So that brain wiring is really a metaphor that he's using to say that it needs to be medicated, but it's not actually your brain wiring, or we haven't seen any proof of that. If it were, you'd be able to scan it and then diagnose. And we can't do that.
You say that's similar to things like, narcissistic personality disorder or
Yeah.
um, other
Yeah.
types of personality
Yeah, the
disorders.
5% most narcissistic people, and yeah, we say they have narcissistic personality. It's also highly subjective. The diagnosis is subjective. The self-reporting is subjective. And then my big problem with it, the thing that I think I was pushing back on the most, is the framing of if you can't do what society tells you to do, if you can't do what your teachers or your parents tell you to do, you have a disorder. And like that might be true, but also maybe they're telling you to do the wrong thing.
Well, it sounds like, disorder by definition is failure to socially conform in a
Failure to
specific way.
comply. Well, kind of. The what's his fucking name? Dr. Tuckman was pushing back and saying, "Well, I am only judging people by their own values." Saying it doesn't matter if your teacher doesn't like how you're behaving if you're not happy with yourself. But of course, if your teachers and parents disapprove of you, that can make you unhappy with yourself. Um, Even if I mean, we've all worked bullshit jobs where we did a bad job at the thing we don't care about, got shamed by our manager who we fucking hate, and it still makes you feel bad about yourself. So I it's all very subjective. Right? So I think
Sure.
it's important when you're thinking about what you're fitting into, what you're conforming to. I think it's important to keep criticizing and evaluating that thing you're supposed to conform to. And the model of take drugs until you fit in does not really take that into account.
Do you feel that way about essentially all personality disorders, or do you think ADHD is a different class?
I don't know of many personality disorders being so freely handed out, and then amphetamines being handed out with those diagnoses to kids. So I'm pretty sure the fucking thing I'm thinking about is trans people. That's the equivalent for me. Is 13-year-old girl doesn't like her body, doesn't want to be a woman. We don't think, well, maybe we don't treat little girls very well. Maybe we don't treat women very well. Maybe we have a problem with society. Maybe we're sexist or something. We don't think that. We just think, oh, man, she's probably just really a boy. Let's give her some fucking hormones. And so that's the equivalent. If we were medicating other heavily medicating kids with other disorders, then I would probably feel the same. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, like if you were to give a pill to a narcissist that dissolves their ego or something.
Yeah.
So what do you think is like the room for, do you think there is room for some kind of intervention that would, help people
What
socially
the fuck are you
conform? Or do you
calling in
think
for?
that
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've already said all this shit. Is
I'm
this an
calling in
interview?
because,
Yeah. Why are you calling in?
okay, I'm calling in for two reasons. One
Yeah.
reason is because I think there is some room for a social intervention in the way that you were talking about it, social or pharmacological. The way that you're talking about it made it sound as though there's essentially nothing on the table besides people sort of being themselves, being their own personality, being able to like thrive in a society that like accepts them for who they are.
I don't know what you just
And I
said.
feel that
I don't understand what you're saying.
like if an ADHD person is struggling to fit into society,
Yeah.
the only solution you're offering them is, well, let's just change society. In the meantime,
No,
they're kind of
I don't
screwed.
actually treat ADHD. I'm not a doctor, so I haven't offered any solutions to any fucking buddy. That's not true. I'm not telling you what to do. If you have ADHD, I don't know what you should do. I have no fucking idea. I think I have ADHD, and I know what I'm doing. And if you want to be like me, then you're going to have to do everything I do. But I don't know
Sure,
if you should.
maybe. Um,
It's a
well,
hard path. It's a hard path to be like me. You're probably not up to it.
that leads to my second topic, which is
Yeah.
I think you may be biased by the fact that you, assuming you have ADHD, again, not
Yeah.
diagnosing, but
Yeah.
um,
Are you a doctor?
you have a, no, not, maybe one day. Um, you obviously have a very high IQ, in my opinion.
I I,
Um,
I
I
agree
think,
with you.
yeah, you probably do. Um,
Yep.
I think people with ADHD that have high IQs are much better at making their way in this world than
Yes, you're saying
even
that
ones in like the
I have
bottom,
pretty
like,
privilege, I have IQ privilege, I have money privilege, I have Jew
yes,
privilege, I have white privilege, I have male privilege, and all these things add up to letting me sit on my high horse and say, "Hey, why don't you just be me?" And you can't.
yeah,
Why don't you just fall back on being a rapper, guys? If you can't make it through school, just be a rapper. I get what you're saying.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even
Wait,
say
hold on.
privilege, but I
I'll
will say
quit
that,
for I don't know how to say your name, but whatever your
yeah,
name is, Sky. Do you have ADHD or you like diagnosed with that?
I do. I've been diagnosed.
Interesting. Are you medicated right now?
I'm prescribed, but I don't take it.
Huh.
Mm,
I tried it and didn't like it.
What do you
why?
mean you didn't like it?
Um, it uh, probably some of the same reasons Mr. Girl might think, which is like it felt like it was like an easy way out, and also felt like it was changing my personality. And I kind of liked the ADHD aspects of myself, plus fast heart rate and trouble sleeping and other physical issues that come along with it.
So what do you do to cope with your ADHD then, if you're not taking medication for it?
So I also consider myself to be a high IQ individual.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, I see.
I think I can kind of think my way through problems and just get away with shit,
You're
even
just better. You're
though,
just better than the other ones. I see.
exactly. Um, even though, like, on paper, there's all this stuff like, getting parking tickets and showing up late to things all the time and generally not being super responsible at work. But then the people at work look at me and they're like, well, yeah, that guy's not super responsible, but he's like pretty smart, so he can still help us solve problems.
Guys
But
like
if
us
I
can
was the
afford to
same,
pay parking tickets every day.
yeah, exactly. So I take that on the chin because I'm like, well, there's this other things about being ADHD that I kind of like. And by the way, I can afford to get away with it because of the IQ thing. But I know people that aren't like that,
The
and
chat
they're
is saying this
basically
guy does
just
not
like
have
fucked.
ADHD. They're doubting your diagnosis.
Were you diagnosed with this as a child, or is this something you were diagnosed with as an adult?
Adult. Although
Now,
I
did
went
you?
back and saw some notes from my teachers when I was in school, and I feel like it wouldn't have been strange to have diagnosed me as a kid either.
I see. So, what do you think is like wrong with what I'm going to say? I don't know if Max is proposing it, but I'm proposing it. Right. So, rather than medicate these children or these adults like yourself, we encourage society to accept that yes, there are people out here who might be more forgetful, might be more prone to do this thing or that thing. Um, and rather than like medicate them so they fit into this narrow range of behaviors that we decided is okay or acceptable, we find some other path for these children, right? So they can be educated, like all the other children, without needing to be hopped up on Adderall, whatever the fuck it is they give this kid. Like what's wrong with that prescription?
I think that basically makes sense, but philosophically, I think what the big question for me is, do we want people who have ADHD to basically be like themselves, or do we want to change them into something that is more socially productive?
Well,
So we can
what if
change them pharmacologically, or we can change them with social engineering or incentive systems or, meditation every day or things like that. But then that question is, well, do we actually want to have people like this that are just like different? Do we want to have this range of human experiences, even if
Would
it
you take
hurts those
a
people to have them?
would you take a pill to make it so you'll never hit anyone, you'll never drunk drive, you'll never have sex with an underage person, you'll never steal? Would you take a pill to make you like that? You'll never lie. The Boy Scout
It might
pill.
depend on the alternative. If the alternative is I'm going to jail, then maybe. I mean, I know that you're kind of against jail, so I don't want to bring that up as like a point of a thing that we should do. But that is kind of where I'm left at is if we're not giving pills, then we're either doing things like, I don't know, putting someone on disability because they can't make money, or we're going to put them in jail for not paying their parking tickets or whatever. And all of those solutions also seem really shitty.
Um, Listen, I want to give you the final word, and I have to end this call because you're calling in to sort of muse about this and think through it. And while that's interesting, you should do that in the fucking shower. It's not appropriate for the hotline. This is the tepid line. And you seem like a nice guy. You seem like a likable guy with good ideas. And I appreciate that. But that's not what the hotline calls for.
Fair enough.
I
Final
need
word then
somebody,
is
somebody angrier and more headstrong.
we want
sure.
somebody who needs to talk about this, not somebody who's sitting there with their fucking tea musing about it. Like you are,
Yes.
Mr. ADHD.
Yeah, you don't care. You're like,
Fair.
well, I could go to jail. That'd be all right. Or I could take pills and that'd be cool too. You're too easygoing. You just don't have. Yeah, it's
Fucking
personal to you,
bathroom.
but it isn't just. It just. It's not. You're not as passionate about it as. And I don't want you to pretend to be. We have a big. I actually really appreciate you not doing this. We have a big problem here at the hotline with people pretending to be mad.
Hmm.
They call about stuff. What's worse is sometimes it's layered. They're actually mad about something, then they're really inhibited about their anger. So then they pretend to be mad about the thing they're actually mad about. It creates this really awkward dynamic where they're like, "Oh yeah, Mr. Girl, you fucking," and they're swearing a bunch. It just feels really disingenuous, and then it starts to feel like they just want to talk to me. And they just want to drag the conversation out because they just want to talk to me about anything, and they're not really mad. They don't care. They would let me have sex with their whole family at the same time if they could. If it meant they could fucking make eye contact with me while I do it. They don't care. They don't care about anything. So I appreciate that, and so I appreciate that. I prefer to this to faux outrage, but I think we have to we got to keep it moving. So what is your final statement?
My final statement is that I know there's folks out there that are taking medication or are confused about it and they don't really know what to do. And they are seeing solutions like, well, let's just change society to make it better for you. And I think that's not good enough for them. And that makes them frustrated. So I don't know. I also don't have a solution, but that's what I wanted to say.
Okay. Well,
And fuck you,
yeah.
you fucking asshole.
Yeah,
Making
yeah,
people
yeah.
get mad at you, providing
Yeah,
an
okay.
incentive
All right, all
structure.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Can I use slurs on this channel? Like, what are the rules?
No. No slurs.
Not even like light
No.
slurs.
No. No. They're pretty strict about, well, I would like to monetize my streams.